Tonight, from Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, it's a special prime time edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers taking on Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens.
It is a cold night in western Pennsylvania as we bring you inside Heinz Field here in Pittsburgh. They love the black and gold here in the Steel City, and a few moments ago their Steelers emerged from the Heinz Field tunnel. They're set, we're set, as the Steelers are ready to do battle with the Baltimore Ravens. Welcome again, everybody, with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gunn, and yes, the rain is falling now, and it is supposed to continue to fall throughout this game. So how do you think that will impact this contest?
Well, first and foremost, both quarterbacks are going to make sure the officials have those dry footballs coming in each and every play and standing over them sometimes with a towel before the center gets up there to snap it. Second thing is the focus of all the guys who handle the football. Do they wear gloves? Do they take them off? Will they carry the ball high and tight to make sure they have good ball security? That's paramount in a game like this.
And he'll be brought down at the 28-yard line, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone gets him 3 more. Here are the Steelers making their way out, and with their longtime starter, Ben Roethlisberger, leading the way.
And for Ben Roethlisberger, there are a lot of question marks coming into this year because he missed nearly all of 2019 with an elbow injury. And if he were younger, maybe not as many questions. But he turned 38 back in March. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers expect to see the old Ben Roethlisberger, who's thrown for over 56,000 yards in his career, leading their team.
Now Roethlisberger on first down. Gets this to his running back. That's Jalen Samuels. And give him 6 yards here as he's stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Brings up second.
Just about every quarterback is trained to really look downfield first before you come back and make a nice, safe throw. And in this case, that's exactly what he did. Found his running back, let him create some space, and it turned out to be a nice play for the offense.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. They'll run for the first time with James Conner. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Taken down.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
3rd and 4.
And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold him to no gain.
And that one drops incomplete as he got popped as he was throwing it. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. The call for a fair catch, and it's made at about the 23-yard line. Yeah, call it 38 yards on the punt, no return. And the Ravens, they'll take over. So here are the Ravens now as they get set for their opening possession. Leading them out, the reigning MVP of the National Football League in his 3rd season now from Louisville, it's Lamar Jackson.
We've had dual-threat quarterbacks in the NFL in the past, and we've had some really good ones. But I don't know if we've had one quite like Lamar Jackson. Led the league in touchdown pass with 36 last season. Set the all-time record for rushing yards in a single season for a quarterback at over 1,200 yards. and he led his Baltimore Ravens to a 14-2 regular season mark, best in the NFL. The sky is the limit for Lamar Jackson.
Catch is made by Marquise Brown. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down.
Partner, you know when we call a game, we talk about Lamar Jackson and his speed and his elusiveness and the ability to get him on the ground and how tough that is for a defense. But how about his development as a thrower, as a professional?
They'll run for the first time with Mark Ingram.
Mark Ingram, the Raven ball carrier.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
A 6-yard pickup.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent game.
40-yard line.
They'll come up on a 2nd and 4 now from the 40-yard line. Jackson from the shotgun. And nearly an interception here on their opening drive. But instead, 3rd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense if that fell harmlessly to the ground. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. From the gun, Jackson. He's going to drop this underneath to Ingram. And he will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
That is definitely what we call on defense an uh-oh play. And what you mean by that is against Lamar Jackson, when you see him out of the pocket, your first thought is, uh-oh, he's going to try and run it. How do I get to him and get him on the ground? And guess what? That didn't happen, and his receivers took advantage.
2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's a run for Ingram. And he's going to get forward for about 5, but that may be coming back. What say you, Mr. Referee? So some holding over on the left side of that O-line.
And I know for the guys trying to move those big defensive people, they'd love for them to stay in one spot, but they move around so quick and so fast that sometimes you just have to grab them.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Jackson, throw left side, complete. It's Ingram. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. They lose 2 on that last play, so things get even tougher. 3rd and long coming up. Something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. From the gun, it's Jackson. And that is incomplete.
Jackson's pass intended for Willie Snead.
It's easy to see when we review this that the ball needs to come out quicker, because if you don't throw it right on the break, you bring a crowd of people into the equation.
And that's why it got knocked away there. So on 4th down, here's Sam Cook to punt it away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken just outside the 20-yard line. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. And the first drive, 3 and out. Second possession, see if they can get a little momentum.
And oftentimes that first drive is just a feeling out process. You have some plays that you've got called and you want to see how defense reacts. And it may not go terrific on the first one. Now they're ready to go. They've kind of got to look at them, got a sense. Let's see if they open things up a little bit.
See if they open things up. Let's see what the defense does here, too, after a good stop. They begin on the ground here with Connor. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24.
Connor, the ball carrier. Patrick.
That was a pretty good job defensively to hold him to a 2-yard run, but I've got to think this offensive line, they're asking their quarterback for a different type of a run, one that they rely on, one they have confidence in, one they feel like they can block.
From the 24, Roethlisberger. He'll find Juju Smith-Schuster. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31.
That's a gain of 6. Brings up 3rd and 1.
The Ravens bring out an extra defensive back here on 3rd. They'll try and run for it with Connor. Oh, this is going to depend on the spot, but it's not a very generous one. He looks to be about a yard or so short. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. Fair catch signaled for and taken just shy of the 30-yard line. It'll wind up just a 35-yard punt, no return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And they'll be looking to avoid what happened last time with just punting the football.
But when you look at how teams play the game, that complementary football comes into play. How do I take care of my defense? How do I take care of my offense? Well, the defense is taking care of them in a lot of ways. Now it's time for the offense to jump things up and help their defense out. Give them a little bit of rest.
Yeah, time for them to give them a rest. You took the words right out of my mouth. The drive starts here with a carry by Ingram. And he stopped immediately there. Bud Dupree, a former first-round pick, in on the stop.
No gain on the play. Brings up 2nd and 10 at the 28-yard line.
We're scoreless after 1.
With no score.
Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2, as they've got it with a 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, Ingram. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative, but you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And looks like they've got 6 DBs on the field here for a 3rd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And it's a big play there on 3rd down, but with the marker on the field, I don't think it's going to hold. Let's see. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long. Operating from the gun. Jackson looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ingram. And he's going to get this to the 31, but that is still well short of what he needed. They do get 7 out of that, but not enough to prevent a 4th down.
So much about this game is just understanding situations and then having to execute, isn't it? Guard the first down sticks. Don't let them get there. And they rallied and made the tackle.
Here's Sam Cook now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. $35 yards that time on the punt, and the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at the 31-yard line. Out of the gun, he'll throw. Open man completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he gets this up across the 35 before he's out of bounds. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. On the counter, it's Connor. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
A good carry and a first down by James Conner, and this Pittsburgh team is really hoping he's back in form because last year the entire Pittsburgh offense suffered without Ben Roethlisberger at quarterback. James Conner only 715 combined yards, but in 2018, he was a Pro Bowl running back. Combined yardage that year, 1,470. They're hoping for 2018 James Conner in 2020.
And he takes it past the 45 and down at the 46. Linebacker Patrick Queen bringing him down.
Brandon, 5 yards on that run. Let's get back to the huddle and make sure if you're a back, you spend time with your offensive line and give them credit. Hard to move those 300-plus pounders at the line of scrimmage, and they did for a significant chunk of yardage.
2nd and 5 now. Roethlisberger, and his throw's going to be incomplete. The intended receiver out of the backfield was Jalen Samuels, but now it'll be 3rd down.
Certainly appeared to take away his first read, and by the time he tried to look elsewhere and find an open target, the coverage was too good. That one falls incomplete.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass. Now Roethlisberger to throw. Setting up the screen, this is Samuels. And he has the first down yardage before they bring him down right at the 45. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid gain.
first and 10 is counter. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd and 11 now. Roethlisberger. And the Raven pressure too much. Down he goes. Calais Campbell finding his way home for the sack. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And he'll take it down shy of the 45 at the 46. 1:57 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Jordan Berry to...
A reminder, coming up at halftime, we'll check in with our Jonathan Coachman. He'll have highlights and analysis of the first half, and our highlights will likely be on the defensive side of the football here. Scoreless game.
Over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. And given the elements, this might have been what we would have expected, Charles. Scoreless into the second quarter.
The elements have definitely played a part in this game, a big part. And I think that both teams have been a little slow to adjust their playbook and start playing to whatever their strengths are in these conditions.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete. Hollywood Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 2nd down.
I may be an analyst, but I'm also a fan. I love it when people take the big shots downfield, but he was under a lot of duress, and I think that forced the incompletion downfield. Didn't have a real good chance to find his target.
2nd and 10. Here's Jackson again. Now he'll pull it down. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. It'll go as a gain of 25 on a play that started back at the 25.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the 3rd one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
1st down now, but that clock rolling. From midfield now, here's Jackson. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. Trying to get it to Willie Snead there. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
A lot of times it's that first read that you have. Maybe you get it in pre-snap, and he locked in on his target, but he was covered quite well, and that one's incomplete.
So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. Throwing again. Jackson. It's complete to Brown, right side. There he goes, right side. And they do finally get him, but he makes it all the way to the 6.
1st and goal.
Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over a minute to go before halftime. First and goal from the 6. From the gun, Jackson. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Ravens touchdown.
Complete to Willie
From 6 yards away, as his guys are on the board first here tonight. He was on point throwing the ball right there. He had the big play to get him down close, and then he delivers a touchdown pass on 1st and goal.
And you mentioned the big play that got him down close. I think that big play left him reeling a little bit. They didn't recover from it. And you know they always talk about having to have a short memory on defense after a big play against you? Looks like their memory was a little too long there.
And the Ravens lead at 7-0. That time, 75-yard drive, 5 plays. And it's capped off by the Baltimore score. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Fielded just outside the goal line. And able to get this out to the 25.
1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Here's James Conner now as he trots back onto the field. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit, maybe featuring other people touching it for a while, and then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
There's still time for him here as we sit in the 2nd quarter.
Like 20. 48.
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. He'll find Smith-Schuster. That's complete. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 45 seconds to go in the 1st half. Able to get 7 on that 1st down pass play. 2nd and 3. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he goes down. The Ravens able to get to him. Calais Campbell, his 2nd sack of the night. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
Well, this 1st half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. That'll go as a punt of 32 yards. And control of the football switching hands with very little time remaining until the half.
33-yard line.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the 2nd quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot.
2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Okay, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to an abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We saw a terrific first half from the dual-threat quarterback, Lamar Jackson. His guys have the lead, as we'll hand it back over to our commentators, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Okay, Coach, appreciate it. A one-touchdown game here as we get set to resume play in the second half. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. Returning it, Justice Hill. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line.
The Ravens take over 1st and 10 at their own 26.
Out come the Ravens now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. They have the lead now. They'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. They go play action here on first down. Rolling to his right. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So they were down by a touchdown, probably just hoping the defense could hold them, maybe force the punt. Instead, they force the turnover and take it into the house.
Well, the plan was perfect. That's exactly what they wanted. Instead, they got a lot more than that. Big-time capitalization by taking the ball away and putting it in the end zone.
Boswell now for the extra point. And in this rain, they were nice and cautious there on the extra point try, and that caution was well warranted as this game is tied. So all square here in this third quarter as the kick's away. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20.
Hill on the return. The Ravens take over 1st and 10.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. And let's just say they're going to be looking to start over on this drive. A few moments ago, they were in the exact situation, but their first play led to a fumble that was returned for 6.
Yeah, you definitely have to have a short memory to play in the NFL. You got to remember what you did wrong so you don't repeat it, but you can't dwell on it because then you will repeat it, and that's what you don't want to do.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. He'll be dropped at the 25 after a gain of 6.
And a lot of times these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
They'll try to run for the first with Ingram. And he's going to have the first down, yardage to the 35. An effective 7-yard third down conversion.
And you know he wants to make the most of every carry because he competes with his quarterback, Lamar Jackson, 4 carries and yardage. But Mark Ingram, over 1,000 yards last season. And then the Ravens went out and drafted J.K. Dobbins out of Ohio State in the 2nd round. So now the Ravens potentially have 2 guys to pair with Lamar Jackson in the run game. Wishbone formation, anyone?
Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. They run. It's Mark Ingram. Jackson, option right. T.J. Watt in on the tackle.
T.J. Watt.
Well, from an offensive perspective, that was a tough run because he only picked up 3 yards. Well, let's flip it over to the defensive side. They now have the advantage. 3 3-yard gains. That means they're punting the ball likely on 4th down. That's what you're looking for when you're playing defense.
From the 38, Jackson. He's got his man on the crossing route.
Jackson.
And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 42. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. It's worth noting when you talk about Jackson's running ability, the Baltimore wide receivers had just over 1,400 receiving yards combined last year. And, Charles, that was the fewest yards by a wide receiver group in the NFL since 2011.
And, partner, I expect that number to go up this year. Last season, Lamar Jackson got very comfortable with his tight end group. In fact, he had 1 tight end and went to the Pro Bowl. But I think now, because of his ability to run the ball, it'll bring defenders closer to the line of scrimmage, and you'll see more big plays from the wide receivers downfield.
And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage.
No gain.
They struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A 2nd and 10 forthcoming here. 3rd quarter action in the Steel City of Pittsburgh, PA. And too much juice. It'll be out of bounds, incomplete.
But you got to think that sooner or later, they're going to hit one of those. But the coverage has been excellent thus far, and it was again on the last play.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And the blitz does come. He may try and run for this. Jackson always a threat to run. He's got the first down. He was the NFL's leading rusher among QBs a year ago.
We just saw a nice example of why teams often bring in baseball guys to teach quarterbacks how to slide in key situations. You want to protect your franchise guy. Make sure he doesn't get hurt. He did exactly that on that play. A perfect slide to avoid the big hit and pick up a first down.
This is Ingram on 1st and 10. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
T.J. Watt.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Ingram again. He will push his way down to about the 14. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves him with a 3rd and 3.
You know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. He dumps it down to Ingram. And boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short.
Well, offensively, that's the mismatch that you want. You want to force a linebacker to try and cover your back out of the backfield, out in some open space. But linebackers nowadays, they run like backs, and they take a lot of pride in covering. What a nice play he made there in the open field.
So on fourth down, here's the Ravens Pro Bowl kicker, Justin Tucker, out onto the field. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And the Ravens strike first at 3-10.
10. Steelers 7.
So a dozen plays on that drive, CD, but in the end, it yields just the 3 points.
Well, they were able to keep the defense on the field for a long time, but let's be honest about it. That was about as unsatisfying a drive as you're going to get. 12 plays and you only get 3 points out of it. Not quite the ending they were looking for.
Tucker now following the made field goal, set to kick it away. This will make it into the end zone. And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25.
25-yard line.
The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. He'll set up to throw from the gun. He's going to launch it for Washington. And they will take over possession of the football at their 42-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10.
Okay, partner, no surprise to you. I'm going to look at this from the defensive perspective. In the rain, you have to be more cautious trying to cover passing routes. Why? The offense knows where they're going with the football. The receiver knows the route he's going to run. You have to make sure you keep your footing underneath you.
The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 42. No gain there as he kept it himself at 2nd down. Well, for that being an option play, there really weren't too many options available for him, were there?
No, there weren't, and at least he was able to get back to the line of scrimmage, so they didn't lose anything, but you're exactly right. Nowhere to go.
One quarter remains here on a Sunday night. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. Second and 10. A 10th carry here for Mark Ingram. call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave them with a 3rd down and 6 to go. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
Over the middle, it's complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. 10 yards there, good enough for a Raven first down. You know, Lamar Jackson last season, the first NFL quarterback with 3,000 or more passing yards and 1,000 or more rushing yards in the same season.
And we've seen both of those talents on display here today. We just saw another completed pass. And everyone knew coming out of college he could run the ball. But for some reason, we didn't analyze it throwing the way we should have. And I think every time he completes a pass, he says to himself, take that, evaluators. You guys really missed the boat on me.
On first down, Ingram. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down.
Gain on the play.
Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back. Those are the ones you focus on and want to take away, and they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
On 3rd down, Jackson, and that is incomplete. Trying to get their tight end involved finally. That's the first time that they've looked his way. He's kind of been a forgotten man in this offensive scheme.
Yeah, it didn't look his way at all in the first half, and I'll bet you the offense coordinator made a note at the half and said, let's get him involved because he can be a big-time playmaker for us.
Justin Tucker on for the field goal. A 57-yard attempt.
And that will wind up just short. He had it on line. It ran out of gas at the end, and this score will stay right where it is. Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. Their defense was able to hold serve, albeit with a little help from that missed field goal as they settle in now 1st and 10. Maybe an important 4th quarter miss as this stays a 3-point game.
Yeah, now overtime is very much in the equation here. Just what you mentioned, a 3-point game. They get a drive, put it through the posts. We could have some free football, couldn't we?
Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. He'll throw from the gun. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on 1st down. Now the pass finding its way into the hands of Eric Ebron. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line. Scoring has really been at a premium. And, Charles, you got to tip your cap to this defense coming in here. Their offense, too, but this whole team coming in here on the road, getting a hard-fought win.
I think the way that they're finishing this one up, an exclamation point on a terrific game. As you noted, hard for them to put points on the board, and they hold them down one more time and finalize things.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. He's got a first. Jackson hit, and he lost the football.
Marquise Brown, the ball carrier. Fumbled on the play.
When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't make it easier for them to start to make a comeback.
2nd and short now following the fumble. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And he'll get it down to the 47 here. That one a first down pickup of 8.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get in behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. Three points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Raven football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. Ingram again, a first down carry. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. And now he'll tuck it and run. And all the way in for a Ravens touchdown. Lamar Jackson, 33 yards as the Ravens push further out in front. Well, Lamar Jackson remembers 7 rushing touchdowns in his MVP season of 2019, and he's into the end zone here as well.
And when you hear that 7 rushing touchdowns in 2019, doesn't it surprise you a little bit?
Yeah, you almost expect more, right?
Yeah, in your mind, you're thinking Lamar Jackson got in the end zone a bunch more. That might be what he does in 2020.
Extra point.
It's good to make it 17-7. Just a 4-play drive that time. And it was capped off by the touchdown run that came from Lamar Jackson. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. Taken in at the 3. And they'll get him down inside the 30 at the 27.
The Steelers take over 1st and 10 at their own 27-yard line.
So Big Ben and the Steelers now down by 10. A minute 45 to play. Their offense has struggled all night, and now they need to find 2 scores late to try to pull this thing out. Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. Now Ben hit, and he lost the football. It's loose.
Lamar Jackson.
Fortunate to get that football back, because trailing here in the second half, last thing they needed was to lose the possession.
And the word I think of here is opportunity, because it could have been lost there. Their chance to score points. But the opportunity for the defense was to go ahead and really close this game down if they were able to get possession.
Now the Steelers hustling up to the line of scrimmage. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Now the Steelers use the second of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with 65 seconds remaining.
3rd and long.
And on 3rd and 15, we see the dime look, 6 DBs on the field.
Playing pass all the way. Now it's Roethlisberger. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off here by Jimmy Smith. And his guys are going to get the football at the 37-yard line.
At the 37.
For this defense, CD, that's kind of the icing on the cake here as we get to the end of this one.
And didn't you feel that they weren't just going into total prevent there? You know, they had the lead, and sometimes you fall back and you lose your aggressiveness. Not in this case. They were still making a play on the football, and look how that one turned out. They may have salted this one away.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. Now the Steelers going to use their 3rd and final timeout as it comes with exactly a minute to go in the football game. The Ravens taking a knee with victory seemingly in hand here. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Down to a knee goes Jackson, and that should seal it.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right, just us against the world, and get it done, how happy are they?
I remember a coach at a previous stop telling me, you get a win on the road, doesn't matter the opponent, get out of there like you stole something. And they did in this one. So the final seconds tick away in this Baltimore victory, and they were spurred on by a strong performance in that 4th quarter as they held their opponents off the scoreboard.
Everyone wants to pitch a shutout for the entire game, but when you throw one in the 4th quarter, that tells everyone that you're getting stronger and dominance is starting to take over, right? The way that you close, the way that you finish, that gets preached to you from the time you're playing Little League football all the way up through. And they closed them out with a big-time performance down the stretch.
So that'll do it for my partner, Charles Davis, and the best darn crew in the industry. I'm Brandon Gaughan. This has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night from Pittsburgh.